I'm like, listen, we've updated the pose. We're not doing that one anymore. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to spend time with you today. I'm so blessed to be here and talk about one of the things that's incredibly important to me, more important than anything. And I asked Beachbody, can I talk to them? Can I just have a minute to tell them what's on my heart? And it's about health. But it's not your physical health, and it's not the health of your business. It's the health of your relationships. I want to talk to you about the people in your life. Because let's face it, when you have a really awesome day, and everything's going well, and your outfit is fantastic, and you're driving a nice car, and you've got a great bank account, and all these things, and then you have like a major fallout with somebody who's important to you, like you're in it. Nothing matters, am I right? You can't concentrate, don't really care, don't feel like you're returning emails. Things come to a screeching halt when things aren't right between you and that most important person. So I've got 20 minutes to talk to you about how to make your relationships better. You know why? Because nothing else really matters. Money doesn't bring you happiness. Fame does not bring you happiness. Walking across the stage and receiving a trophy brings you happiness for a moment. But the things that bring you happiness long term are important people. Do you agree? I knew you were smart. Knew it. Now, my husband and I have been together for 25 years, I believe. I know. Married for 20. We've been in business together for 15 years. 10 of which were from hell. Because it was my business and you're working for me. That didn't go so well. But we figured it out. Each year's gotten a little bit better. We've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and it is my passion and it is on my heart to teach people that there is a way to do this and work on your relationship and have the byproduct be a better business, a better you, a better everything, a happier life. Now, I don't have a lot of time, so I want to get to the important stuff first, but I want to ask you this question. How many of you, because you're entrepreneurs, have had somebody in your life, whether it's a best friend or a brother or sister, or your significant other, who haven't been exactly as excited about your business and everything you're excited about as you are? Hands up if you have some people in your life they're just not that excited. They're like, I don't get it, right? So everybody's been there, and you're like, I don't understand. You love me, and this is like really good for me, and so why would you not be happy for me? Are you like jealous? Like, this is good for you too. Right? Knowing that I don't have a lot of time, I want to give you the most important piece first on how to improve your relationships. So if I could ask you to dim the lights a little bit, can we do that? All right, if you follow this tip and this tip alone, things are going to get better. My wife would love this. Well, I'm about to just have all the dudes in the audience fall in love with me once and for all. Because the number one tip I can give you in your relationships is y'all need to have more sex. Standing ovation for the boys.
Standing ovation for the boys.
I mean, with your partner, of course. Yeah, I just became every guy's favorite trainer. And ladies, if you're here without your spouse, they'll say, "What was the summit like?" You say, "All I remember is they told me to have more sex." And then your husband will go, "You should go again next. Get yourself signed up." Go again next year. But there was a time, you know, when things got crazy in our relationship, and then you get too busy. And you're tired. And like around like noon, I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be a hot night tonight. I'm gonna make it happen. And then you're like, oh, I'm tired. Are you tired? Right? It's kind of like exercise. I would say if you just, even if you're not in the mood, just give me 5 minutes. Hey, this isn't that bad. Let's keep going. I can speak very honestly to you, thank you. But you know, things weren't always as, you know, peachy keen, but what we did is we had to sit down and change our priorities. My husband and I had a very crazy business. You may know that we no longer own our apparel company. We no longer own our certification company. We don't have 70 APDs around the country that we're responsible for, 25 employees in our office. We don't have a million new exercise programs coming out. I had to clear everything off. I was doing way too much. And that's why I know a lot of you are like, hey, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing this? I am, just at a slower pace, because I wasn't really living what I know to be my priority. And I had to do that. I had to change. Because that dude, you guys are important, but that dude's like everything. And we can live in a cardboard box. I don't need a stage, I don't need a car, I just need him and my kids. And so, thank you. But I gotta talk real to you, because I was saying that before. I was saying that before, and I was believing that before, but my life and my actions weren't matching it. And I just kind of took it for granted. So we wiped the slate clean and we sold everything, and we started with a very we started over with a very teeny tiny staff, and this is Team Johnson. And I always say, if we can't fit our whole staff around one table for dinner or lunch, then we've grown too big. And this is our staff, and they're absolute lunatics, and I love them. And Brett has learned that I never take one photo, I take a lot of photos. And he can handle that to a point. And then he's like, is this over? But you know what's weird is like, you've got this business and you're an entrepreneur and you're really excited about all these great things that are happening. I mean, look at this. This is cool. Like, so many of you've probably had a moment where you're like, I can't even believe I came here, and I'm so proud of myself that I did this. And I don't feel supported because he or she doesn't get it. And it's causing tension between us. And I don't understand. If you really love me, you want the best for me. And I'm so excited. And why are you being such a downer? This is a good thing. And it's hard to imagine, right? Because like you guys were once so in love, like you woke up in the morning and you both thought you had good breath. And he would say, are you comfortable? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, am I hurting your arm? And his whole left side of his body's gone numb. And he's like, no, are you comfortable, babe? Like, back then you used to fall asleep like that and pretend you wanted to. Now you're like, could you move? You know, you get married and you're like looking into each other's eyes and you're just so excited about what your life together is going to be like, and you just talk about all the amazing things that are going to happen, all the change, all the transformation. Like, we'll get married and then we can plan all these really cool things together. Like, we can build a family, we can do these things together, and it's going to be hard, I'm sure, but we're doing it together. This is change that we've done together. And whether it's a baby, or let's move, or maybe you've got to have one of you go back to school. But most of the time, this change you're really excited about because it brings you closer together and it's something you both want. But then you've been married for a little while and things, well, they're tough, but they're getting tougher, and you stop talking as much about it. And you tend to take each other a little bit more for granted. It's kind of like the last person on the list. We always say it's us. I honestly believe it's usually your partner. A lot of people put their partner even behind themselves. Because if you really want to take care of yourself, you'll take care of your partner, because that will make you happy when you make them happy. And it gets to this point where, like, you don't even know how you ended up here, but suddenly you're like so far apart. And I don't know if you're there today, but I want you to know that if you have something on your heart that believes you can remember why you found love. And you know that this person was once your biggest fan and it's capable, it's possible. You could do it again, then we have to remember that it is possible. And I'm going to share with you my best tips to get there. Because it's not easy, but it is simple. But what happens is we let this thing get in the way that just destroys so many marriages, and it starts with the letter L. Do you know what it is? Not really. I mean, maybe. But that can be outsourced. Life just gets in the way. It's weird. It's like if you allow the drift to happen. A good marriage, a good relationship, hear me clearly, takes intention. You got stuff on your calendar right now for your business. How much do you have on your calendar right now for your partner? You've got certain things you do every single week, 5 times a week for your business. Do you have 5 things a week for your partner? You need to. Real talk. Because life is just going to get in the way, and it gets busier and busier and busier. And the further you go apart, the less time you spend together, the further apart you will be. And then before you know it, you don't even recognize this person anymore. You're arguing about the dumbest things, and you're just not even happy, and you just want transformation. You want excitement back. You want growth in your life. You want more. You don't know what it is, but I just want more. You want to be better. You want to feel like you've been challenged. It's not easy. You want renewed happiness. You don't know what it is, but you feel like there's a meaning that's missing. That was maybe once there. And so you're feeling these things, and that's how a lot of us end up being entrepreneurs, right? Because we're like, I want all these things. And I know I could be better. Standing here before you right now, I know I could be better at so many things. How many of you believe you could be better? You could be better. We all believe we could be better. That's what we have in common. Do you know that there's people out there who don't think they could be better? There are. I've met them. Jerks. They are not invited to Summit. We exclude them. But so we know things could be better. And so, like, if things are going to be better, then that means I'm going to be creating starts with a C. Change, right? Oh, so if I want things better, then I'm going to be now new and improved, and that means change. How many of you, when you, previous Summit attendees, when you heard Summit was going to be national, you're like, oh, where? Hands up. Don't you lie. You're like, I get it too. I'm like, what? I don't want to go there. No, Vegas. Right? I did it too, but now I'm like, this is cool. This is nice. I like it. But initially, I'm going to tell you, I felt insecure flying here because of the change. I was angry. I had fear. I had sadness. I was uncertain. These are the feelings that people feel when there's change. And you are changing in a big way. And people feel less significant sometimes. And they fear that they're going to fail you. And they fear that you might fail. And they fear that you're going to be so new and improved that they will now be inadequate. When I was a personal trainer, I worked with people who had 100 pounds to lose. And if they were married, this is true, if they were married, many times it was their spouse who did not want them to lose the weight. A thin spouse who did not want them to lose the weight. For all of those fears, all of those fears. What if I'm not significant? What if he or she loses all the weight and suddenly I don't matter? I'm not good enough now. They're so hot, I can't even keep up. That's what happens when people improve it. That's why it scares people. Now I want you to look at the definition of change because this is going to make sense to you. First, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And think about a really important person to you. It can be your partner or a best friend or someone who you rely on a lot. Now here's the definition of change. Eyes closed. Eyes closed. To make or become different. To take or use another instead. Open your eyes. When you think about your significant other, do you want to think of them as using another instead? Or to make or become different? No, it makes us nervous. We don't want that. No, I don't want to go to Nashville. No, I don't want you to make more money. No, I don't want you to be the breadwinner. No, I don't want you to get in better shape. I don't want that. But isn't growth good? Isn't it a good thing? Shouldn't we be happy when people want to improve? We should, shouldn't we? But it's scary sometimes. My point is, you need to simmer down about the change you're dealing with. Okay, let's put things into perspective for a minute. But change, even when somebody says, this is good for me, I am going to be so much better, it still can be very scary. Work it, girl! Work it! Now, let's just talk about Caitlin for a second. That changed the way his former wife felt about herself. Do you understand that? Do you understand that when you change, now I have to define myself differently. And that's hard for people. So how do we get people to understand that growth doesn't have to separate us? Growth is actually a good thing. Well, the good news is, here's the good news. This has nothing to do with your business or your weight loss. It has nothing to do with any of that. The good news is, it's you. You're the problem. With all your selfies. And it's really not even you. It's really fear that because things are changing, you're not going to need me. That's what it is. They're not afraid of your business, or your new friends, or your healthy way of eating, or the self-improvement that you're interested in. They're afraid that they're going to lose you. That means this. This is the good news. You can fix this. But you need to do step one. Step into their shoes. Imagine why this feels this way. When you feel from your partner anger, when you feel them getting irritable, when you feel them being a jerk, when they're being passive aggressive, that has nothing to do with their lack of love. It has everything to do with fear of losing you. And when people fear they're going to lose something, you know what they do? They get real aggressive. Or they get overly protective, and they say, I don't think you should do that. We can lose money, you can hurt yourself. Step two is you've got to make the changes that you want to see. If you want your partner, get this. Hey, newsflash. Newsflash. If you want your partner to be nicer to you, you should be nicer to them. A lot nicer, like 10 times nicer. If you want them to compliment you on your body, you should compliment them on theirs. If you want them to be sexual towards you, then you should initiate. Do the things that you want, and then do it beyond what you think is fair, because it's not fair. It's not supposed to be fair. It doesn't have to be fair. They just want to feel needed. They just want to feel like they're not going to lose you. Happy couples. A study of happy couples and people who report themselves as unhappy couples. Happy couples spend time talking 5 hours more per week than unhappy couples. If you're not spending any time together, you're automatically losing happiness. And then you have to listen. No, really, you need to listen. You have to hear what they're saying. You have to know, where do they come from? How did their mother treat them? Where do these issues stem from? When you act that way, why do they overreact? You only know that if you listen and you've asked a lot of questions and you know what that stirs up in them. Now here's another very interesting statistic, 5-to-1 ratio. 5 positives to 1 negative. Now I'm not talking about a negative toward you. This is what a 5 negative sounds like. Hey, the garbage disposal is broken. When are we gonna fix that? I don't know if you know this, but nobody's brought in the trash cans yet. Can you keep the kids quiet because I've got to do a call? Why is there laundry everywhere and I have to do it? Is anyone gonna pick up in this house? Ever? Oh, hi honey, you look nice. 5 negatives, 1 positive. You want the opposite. 5 positives to 1 negative. And I'm not talking about saying something negative about them, I'm just saying a negative thing. If you're always have something negative to say, of course there's always something wrong with the house. Find 5, it's a beautiful day. I love you. Nobody makes coffee like you. Thank you so much for making it possible for me to be here at Summit. Study your partner, get to know them, what makes them happy. You know what makes them happy, and if you don't, figure it out. Talk about the things that he or she is interested in. Your spouse is not interested always in the same things that you are. My husband is a football coach. He can talk to me till he's blue in the face about plays, and I'm like, what does the guy who grabs the ball, what's he called again? The one behind Brock? I mean, the one underneath Brock, like what's his name again? He's like, a center, he's the center. I'll never remember that, because it's not interesting to me. But you know what is interesting is when he comes home and he says, we just got a kid who transferred into our school. He grew up in the foster care system, and he was just adopted by a family at age 16. And he's moving into our district. I'm like, really? This sounds interesting. I want to know more about his life. Which kid is he? Point him out to me. You're like, that, I'm a people person. So talk to your spouse about what they're interested in. They might not be interested in PIO, but they might be interested in the numbers. They might not be interested in the numbers, but they're interested in the marketing or the technology. Talk to your partner about your business, only about the things that you know that they're interested in. And then you've got to communicate more often your gratitude. You've got to minimize their fears. So fellas, who were here without your partner, she don't want to hear about it. She doesn't need to see the pictures. You can just go, yeah, the coaches this year were really overweight and unattractive. You should have seen that lineup of speakers on Friday, man. Oh, Lindsay Matway and Chalene and Christine Dwyer, I'll tell you, it was hard to look at, honey. It's not easy. But I did it for the family. Want to have sex? Use common sense. Use the golden rule. You know, I mean, just don't be dumb. Hashtag don't be dumb. Be smart about these things. Make people feel amazing. That's the golden rule. Praise people. Be kind. Be nice. And when your spouse or your partner or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or even your best friend, when you see them, act excited. Act excited. Be grateful. You need them. Minimize your own temptations, couples. We've got lots of rules in our marriage. We don't go out to meals with members of the opposite sex if we're by ourselves. We don't work out with members of the opposite sex if we're by ourselves. We always travel together. We have rules. Because we don't do bachelor or bachelorette parties. We never have. These are our rules. You don't have to my rules. These are our rules. But you have to minimize temptation because we are all shockingly human. And no one can read your mind. So when somebody you're like, I didn't know you were worried about that. Well, they can't possibly read your mind. So minimize fears by making people feel secure. Everybody wants to feel needed. Even if you know I'm not available on that date, I still want you to ask me. Ask me to prom. Even if you know I'm not available that day. And of course, lastly, write this down. Oh, I see y'all pulling out your phones and Instagramming it. Speak highly of your partner. Oh. I guess you'll have to steal it from somebody else's Instagram post. Speak highly of your partner. Speak highly of your partner to your partner. Speak highly of your partner in front of other people. Period. When your partner is speaking and the two of you are together and you interrupt and you correct them and you tell the story better or you apologize for them or you're worried about how people are perceiving them, it's only you that looks bad by doing that. Just let them say what they need to say and praise them. Recruit your partner. They have the opposite strengths that you have. Your partner is probably much better at the things that you suck at. And those are the things, like if you had somebody in your corner, even if you're not in business together, if you had somebody in your corner who's good at those things and you suck at those things, you can find yourself an MVP. That's when my business and my happiness skyrocketed, when I realized it's not my business, it's our business, and he's so much better at these things. And it's not that I need you or I have to demand these things. I want you. My husband was a top recruited football player in California. He was like the top recruited quarterback the year he graduated, which was a long, long time ago. Graduated from high school. But you know, he's pulled out his recruiting letters. And I've looked at them and I thought, man, wouldn't it be nice to get a letter like this from your spouse? Like, the letters from coaches would say, I need you. We need someone like you on our team. We've watched what you've done. And you will add something special to this organization. Recruit your partner. Don't say, I need you to go do this, or this is for my business. You've got to invest time in each other, and guess what that takes? Time. That follow-up you think you have to do, that podcast you think you have to record, whatever it is, can wait, because your partner needs time with you. And lastly, behave in accordance with your priorities. See, I wasn't doing that for a long time. I was speaking my priorities, but I wasn't behaving in them. I needed someone to hold me accountable. I needed to make my spouse my priority. He needed to make me his priority. You are better together, because nobody is interested in things being as successful if you're on the same path than the person who you're with. You're just excluding them or forcing them to be interested. Invite them to be interested. Everybody wants to feel needed. Closeness, you guys, requires time. You gotta put your damn phone down. You gotta cancel things from time to time. You have to, because it's not right to cancel on your partner. And your word choice matters. It's not your business, it's our business. Because you wouldn't be able to be here without your partner. And when they offer to help, don't correct it, because I'm sure it's not the way you would have done it. But to correct it is rude. To correct it is rude. Let it be done wrong, all right? You good with that? And then go have sex. Consider traditional roles, and I'm going to speak to the ladies for a second, especially those of you who are like up and coming, and that creates this like weird thing with men and women. I don't know, maybe this is too deep, but I think there's like this primal thing where men want to protect and take care of, and you still need to make sure they're doing that. You still need to let them know that that's what they're doing for you, and that's really important, I think, because my husband needs to know that he's the man, and I couldn't do this without him. And so you have to consider traditional roles, whatever that is for you. I don't know what that is for you, but you have to remember what's most important. And lastly, two things. Number one, behavior is contagious. So if you hang out with people who drink too much, you'll drink too much. You'll make it okay. And if you hang out with people who flirt with the opposite sex and do inappropriate things, that's okay then for you too. And it's a slippery slope. Hang out with quality people because behavior is contagious. And sometimes, actually a lot of times, just be the hero. Be the person who slides over and says, I'm sorry, even though you're like, he should be saying sorry. Just slide over and say, I'm sorry. I love you. Put your hands on them. Because you can't still be mad at someone when they have their hands on you and you say, I love you. I'm so sorry. Can we just start over? Not a but. And be the hero. Because your relationship needs a hero. And from time to time, you'll reverse roles. And she'll be the hero. Or he'll be the hero. And that's called marriage. And you're going to go through some rough times. Everybody does. The best marriages do. But tough people stick it out. And they work through it. but you're not going to have a better marriage by building a better business. And I'm sorry if that's a newsflash, but you might have a better business if you build a better relationship. I have. I'm making more money today, and I'm happier and working a lot less because I've really, truly stepped into living my priority. I have one quote to read for you. A solid relationship isn't between two people who share interests or a business. A solid relationship happens when two people honor their priorities. Your partner's amazing. You're amazing. You are thebomb.com. Thank you so much